Should whistleblowers be compensated for coming forward with information relating to corruption in state departments? Well, this is one of the topics of discussion being held at the G20 Anti-Corruption Working Group meeting today. SABC News reporter Abra Barbia caught up with one of the delegates about this very issue.
This session, whistleblowing, I know it's something that was at the top of the agenda. It's a talking point around the world for all the member states. Have any resolutions been made, or is it still an ongoing discussion that's happening?
Thank you for having me. Actually, this important working group for the G20 on anti-corruption, which we know anti-corruption is a big issue affecting every country. And part of the main issue of anti-corruption is whistleblowing, because whistleblower will allow the anti-corruption agencies, the law enforcement agencies, to identify who are the criminals and go after them. So whistleblowing is a big issue. What we have discussed is still in work in progress. I think it's tomorrow that we come out with a resolution. But for now, we are listening to all parts, or agencies and stakeholders' views on this whistleblowing. So that's where we are now.
Doctor, I don't know if you can answer me because I know these sessions are closed, but I know that there's lots of talk around the payment or the reimbursement of whistleblowers and whether this is the right thing to do or not. I know different countries regulate this differently. Is that something that's part of the discussion in terms of how whistleblowers should they be compensated in any way, or should it be regarded as a citizen or integrity or ethical motive that drives them?
Yeah, actually, that is a big part of the discussion. You see, there's a dichotomy between the developed countries and the developing countries in terms of resource constraint. What I've noticed is that sometimes the developing countries copy or cut and paste what is in the developed country. Because the developed country, they have resources. So when you talk about whistleblower protection in the developed country, when you blow a whistle against a big criminal organization or individual, you can be removed from your location and put in another location, get to a new employment, get to a new ID, your family and your circumstances will be protected. We cannot do that in the developing country where resource constraints. If you blow a whistle in your community against a criminal, the criminals will come after you because they will not remove you. The government or the agency will not have the capacity to remove you from, let's say, Cape Town and put you in somewhere far away and give you new employment and new identity. We don't have that. But what you get is that they take this whistleblower act developed in developed countries and bring it to Africa to come and work with it. And it's not workable. So we need to fashion out, looking at our cultural, social, economic circumstances, and see how we can protect our whistleblower, because we cannot replicate what the developed countries with huge resources are doing. Again, our culture is also different. You see, in Africa, particularly everybody knows everybody. So this issue about ethics comes in. If I know this person is a criminal, am I going to blow a whistle on him? No, unless, of course, I'm fighting him or I'm part of the criminal activity and I feel slighted, I feel they didn't give me my fair share before you blow the whistle. So again, we need to look at these nuances, the differences between cultures, to fashion out what a whistleblower protection will mean for resource-constrained countries like Africa and other developing countries, because we cannot have one-size-fits-all framework because the issues are different. So that is what I think we should look at.